Falcon 9 is in startup.
So at this point, the autonomous flight computers have taken over the countdown, and stages 1 and 2 are pressurizing for launch.
LD is go for launch.
And with that, all systems are go for launch of Transporter 17.
"30 seconds. "15 seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignite. Engines full power. And liftoff of Transporter 17. Go SpaceX, go Falcon.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
We are now 30 seconds into flight, and Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base. Falcon 9 is currently throttling down to prepare for max Q, which is the point of maximum aerodynamic
Power
stresses
and telemetry nominal.
on the vehicle. Max Q is reached when the air density of the atmosphere decreases faster than the increasing speed
Falcon
of the
9 is supersonic.
And at this point, we are waiting for the call out for max Q.
Max Q.
And sounds like we just reached max Q, which again is when the vehicle experiences the greatest amount of aerodynamic stress. Merlin engines are back at full power and we're out of the throttle bucket. From here on, even though velocity is rapidly increasing, the atmospheric density is decreasing, resulting in less loads overall on Falcon 9.
I'm back chill.
There are several events coming up in quick succession, starting with MECO, stage separation, and second engine start, or SES-1. Main engine cutoff, or MECO, is where all 9 Merlin 1D engines shut down to slow the vehicle down in preparation for stage separation, and this is where the first stage separates from the second stage. Next, the MVAC engine on the second stage will light, which is called out as Second Engine Start 1, or SES-1. This engine burn, lasting several minutes, will propel the second stage and our payloads to orbit. After that, the fairing will jettison from the second stage as it's no longer needed to protect the payloads once we're in space. We should be hearing the first of these callouts in just a few seconds from now.
Vico.
Stage separation confirmed.
I'm back startup.
And there you heard and saw those 3 events that happened back to back, including main engine cutoff, stage separation, and second engine start 1.
Coming up next will be fairing separation in a few moments from now.
Both vehicles are following nominal trajectories. Fairing separation confirmed.
And there we just heard confirmation of fairing separation along with a great view of those halves separating from the vehicle on your screen. And as a reminder, those fairings are going to make their way back to Earth for recovery. Now the next major milestone coming up is entry burn on the Falcon 9 first stage, which is scheduled to occur at the T+6 minute mark. The entry burn is used to slow the first stage down as it heads back towards our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You.
Falcon 9 is currently in its first MVAC burn, which should last for another few minutes. The next milestone will be the first stage entry burn, coming up here in just about 2 minutes. Today, Falcon 9 is performing 2 total burns in order to land. The first burn, known as the entry burn, slows the vehicle down before hitting the denser parts of Earth's atmosphere. Without this burn, Falcon 9 would only be using the atmospheric drag to slow down, which would add extra stress to the vehicle. Following entry burn, the booster will initiate a landing burn to slow the vehicle down even further for a successful landing.
When Falcon 9 fires up for re-entry, the vehicle will be flying through Merlin's exhaust gases, which is also known as the rocket's plume, which deposits a layer of soot on the vehicle surface. And you'll see these marks across the flight-proven Falcon 9 first stage fleet. And that soot comes from the carbon-based fuel that Falcon 9 uses. And with each flight, the soot builds up a little bit more on the outside of the vehicle. And the first stage today, supporting today's mission, will be making its 11th flight. So you can see earlier some of that soot build up on the outside. And it had previously launched Sentinel-6B, Twilight, NROL-172, and 7 Starlink missions.
Falcon 9 is now about a minute away from the start of the entry burn on the first stage. You can check out the telemetry on the bottom of your screen and see that the second stage is still picking up speed and heading to its destined orbit. We have a great view here of that MVAC engine. Falcon 9 is also equipped with 4 hypersonic titanium grid fins positioned near the top of the first stage that help steer it as it returns to Earth. You might also spot those white puffs from time to time coming off of the booster, which is cold nitrogen gas helping with attitude control.
Now at this point, we are moments away from the beginning of the entry burn, and you should see the graphics light up when the engines do on the bottom of your screen.
Stage 1, entry burn startup.
Stage 1, FTS is safe.
And there's the call out for the entry burn startup on the Falcon 9 first stage. Now this burn is set to last about 24 seconds and again is slowing the vehicle down in preparation for its final burn and landing.
Stage 1, entry burn shutdown.
And that concludes our entry burn.
As mentioned earlier, we will be attempting to recover this booster. Today, the booster is targeting a landing on the drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You. You can follow along with the burn in the engine graphic at the bottom of your screen. As this burn happens, you'll notice a decrease in both speed and altitude. And during the landing burn, we are expecting a shutdown of the second stage MVAC engine. This is known as Second Engine Cutoff 1 or SECO 1. We have both events coming up here in just about a minute.
Now we are about 40 seconds away from the beginning of the landing burn, and this is the final burn of the Falcon 9 first stage. And it's used to reduce the remaining speed of the vehicle for a gentle and precise
Stage 1, transonic.
landing on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You. The first stage is also equipped with 4 landing legs made of carbon fiber with aluminum honeycomb.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
And as Falcon 9 descends towards the drone ship, keep an eye out for the first stage landing legs, which will deploy just prior to touchdown.
Stage 2, FTS is safe.
Stage 1, landing burn.
And there we heard the call out for the landing burn start for the Falcon 9 first stage. Again, this is the final burn that this booster will execute before touching down.
Stage 1, landing leg deploy. Stage 1, landing confirmed.
And as we
Nominal orbit insertion.
As we saw and heard, a successful first stage landing.
And over on the second stage, confirmation of a successful cutoff of the MVAC engine, and we also heard the call out for good orbit. Coming up next is the second burn of the MVAC engine on board the second stage, or SES-2, which is around the T plus 51 minute mark. In the meantime, we're going to take a break and return to live mission coverage at about T plus 50 minutes. See you soon.
Welcome back to our live coverage of the Transporter 17 mission. It's been a great launch and overall mission so far. First, we had an on-time liftoff at 12:12 a.m. Pacific time, and the first stage landed on the drone ship Of Course I Still Love You for its 11th launch and landing. And we had a successful first burn of the MVAC engine on our second stage.
Following that, Stage 2 entered about a 40-minute coast phase. We're expecting the second ignition of our Merlin vacuum, or MVAC engine, here shortly, followed by our first batch of payload deployments. If you're just joining, today's flight is part of SpaceX's rideshare program. Rideshare missions launch multiple small satellites into orbit using a single Falcon 9 rocket. Transporter flights are intended to make access to space more affordable for small satellite operators all around the world. To learn more about SpaceX's rideshare program, visit spacex.com/rideshare or email the team at rideshare@spacex.com. We are currently waiting for the second engine burn of our second stage.
Nominal orbit insertion.
And there was confirmation of good orbit. So everything is on track to start the first wave of deployments in about 3 minutes. And we're expecting the first deployment to occur at around T plus 54 minutes and 30 seconds.
There are 81 payloads total on today's flight, including CubeSats, microsats, hosted payloads, and orbital transfer vehicles, which are carrying 8 of those payloads to be deployed at a later time. There will be a total of 69 separate deployment events today, and we're expecting to see all deployments back-to-back without much of a pause, except for one final deployment, which will occur after the initial wave. We should hear callouts as each of these payloads are deployed, but because the spacecraft on this mission are small sats, it can sometimes be difficult for us to confirm deployments in real time. This first wave of deployments will begin at about 54 minutes and 30 seconds and is expected to conclude at about an hour, 12 minutes, and 30 seconds. For more information on what's flying today, a full list of payloads is available at spacex.com/launches.
And while we don't have live views right now, we are expecting to have live views for most of these deployments today. And we're expecting the first deployment sequence to begin in just under 2 minutes. In case you're just joining us, today's flight is part of SpaceX's rideshare program. And rideshare missions like today's significantly increase access to space for small satellite operators around the world. And we're excited to be able to offer these launch opportunities for our customers. And in addition to helping drive down the cost of access to space by flying reusable vehicles, dedicated rideshare flights provide small satellite operators competitive pricing, increased flight opportunities, and flexibility. And the first deployment sequence is expected in under a minute. Gorgeous view of the Earth beneath our payload stack, and we should expect that deployment sequence in the next 10 seconds.
OSIRIS-A, separation confirmed. Lemur 2, Eleanor, separation confirmed. Suchai 4, separation confirmed. Koyo, separation confirmed. Cybercube, separation confirmed. Lemur 2 Crimborealis, separation confirmed. Leonav 1, separation confirmed. Lemur 2 Alex, separation confirmed. Apoliink Ipos, separation confirmed. Marmotsat, separation confirmed. Grits, separation confirmed. QB4, separation confirmed. QB5, separation confirmed. Lemur 2, Deloitte 6, separation confirmed. EarthTrack ET01, separation confirmed. Lemur 2, Deloitte 5, separation confirmed. Tom 3, separation confirmed. N2 Peabody, separation confirmed. QB3, separation confirmed. QB2, separation confirmed. Centauri 9, separation confirmed. QB1, separation confirmed. Lemur 2 Nereid, separation confirmed. Scion X, separation confirmed. Bower Cloud CT precursor, separation confirmed. Lemur 2 Deloitte 4, separation confirmed. Kotska Oasis Alpha, separation confirmed. Lemur 2 Sophie Luna X1, separation confirmed. Lemur 2 Jess R, separation confirmed. Vulcan 3, separation confirmed. Tom 2, separation confirmed. Tom 1, separation confirmed. Lemur 2, Alex Fulton, separation confirmed. Maverick, separation confirmed. Marina, separation confirmed. Hyperion GR1, separation confirmed. Rafts, separation confirmed. Replicator 2, separation confirmed. Spear 1, separation confirmed. R5, S9, separation confirmed. Fossasat 2E26, separation confirmed. Bro 31, separation confirmed. Posidonia, separation confirmed. Ion SUV Joyful Julia, separation confirmed.
ISA 3, separation confirmed. ISA 1, separation confirmed. Kita 36, separation confirmed. Viasat 3, separation confirmed. ISI 4, separation confirmed. Cruise 3D, separation confirmed. Cruise 3A, separation confirmed. Viasat 1, separation confirmed. Cruise 3E, separation confirmed. Loft Earth Daily 8, separation confirmed. Flashpoint 1, separation confirmed. LA3, separation confirmed. Navigator, separation confirmed. Cruise 3B, separation confirmed. Nova 1, separation confirmed. Cruise 3C, separation confirmed. Cruise 3F, separation confirmed. Cruise 3G, separation confirmed. Perks 1, separation confirmed. Flashpoint 2, separation confirmed. Biosat 2, separation confirmed. Kita 53, separation confirmed. Pelican 11, separation confirmed.
So far, we've had confirmation of 67 payload deployments, and we hope you've enjoyed those stunning views of the Nile as we passed over and what's soon to be passing over Greece. So we have one more left of this batch, and then we'll bring this to a close and carry on with SES-3 and SES-4. At this point, we're about 1 minute away from our penultimate deployment of the night.
ISI 2, separation confirmed.
And with that call out for deployment, that
All
brings
payloads in the first sequence successfully deployed.
us to the close of our first wave of 68 deployments. And that leaves us with just one more left to deploy, which is CAS 500-4, manifested by Korea Aerospace Industries.
And that will be coming up at about T plus 2 hours and 30 minutes. But for now, we're going to coast until the third burn of the MVAC engine on the second stage, or SES-3, which should occur at about T plus 1 hour and 45 minutes. Until then, enjoy the live space views and tasty tunes. And we're now about 20 seconds away from that engine burn. Let's stand by for those callouts.
Nominal orbit insertion.
Okay, and that was our fourth and final burn of the MVAC engine on the second stage, and we have good orbit.
So while we wait for our final deploy, we can do a quick recap of today's mission. So we started off with an on-time liftoff at 12:12 a.m. Pacific time, and we recovered our Falcon 9 booster for its 11th landing. and now we've completed 4 separate second stage burns. We also saw 68 separate deployment events, carrying 80 payloads today. And as noted, we have one more to go, which is CAS 500-4, manifested by Korea Aerospace Industries. And as we mentioned earlier in the show, this is not the first mission for Korea Aerospace Industries with SpaceX. In May this year, Falcon 9 launched 45 payloads during the CAS 500-2 rideshare mission, including CAS 500-2 spacecraft. In case you aren't familiar yet, our transporter missions are dedicated rideshare flights to sun-synchronous orbit. And rideshare missions like today's significantly increase access to space for small satellite operators around the world. And we're excited to be able to offer these launch opportunities for our customers. And in addition to helping drive down the cost of access to space by flying reusable vehicles, dedicated rideshare flights provide small satellite operators competitive pricing, increased flight opportunities, and flexibility. And to date, SpaceX has launched more than 1,800 payloads to orbit across our entire rideshare program.
And for today's mission, CAS 500-4 is an Earth observation satellite jointly led by the Korea Aerospace Administration, Rural Development Administration, and Korea Forest Service. The satellite was developed by Korea Aerospace Industries and is capable of observing the entire Korean peninsula in just 2 to 3 passes. It will support crop monitoring, agricultural land analysis, and forest resource management, helping to advance the Republic of Korea's agriculture, forestry, and disaster response systems. And we're going to start seeing that final deployment here in about 40 seconds from now. We're getting some beautiful views of the Earth here past the vehicle. And we are coming up here in just a few moments on our final deployment of today's mission.
CAS 504 separation confirmed. All payloads successfully deployed.
And what a stunning view of that payload deploy. So with this confirmation, all Transporter 17 deployments have been separated from the vehicle and are now on their way to their final destinations. It has been a long mission, but it has been so worth it to see all of those CubeSats, microsats, and orbital transfer vehicles now in space. And we would like to thank all of our rideshare customers for entrusting us with their spacecraft today.
We also want to say thank you to the Range and Federal Aviation Administration for their support, and to you, our viewers. To date, SpaceX has launched more than 1,800 payloads to orbit across the entire rideshare program, and there are lots more to come. A full listing of today's payloads can be found at spacex.com/launches.
For more launch coverage, be sure to check that same site for the most up-to-date information, or you can follow us at SpaceX on X.
Thanks again for joining us, and see you next time.